Okay, boys and girls, this is our chapter 11 review. So let's go over some of these problems. Okay, so the first one says find the circumference and area of each of the circles. So I'm just going to quickly go over. You should know that circumference of a circle is either one of two things. It's pi. Let me make that bigger. It's pi times d, which is diameter, so circumference equals that, or circumference equals 2 pi r. One other thing is the area, and the area equals pi r squared. So you need to know those three different formulas. So for the first one, it's fairly easy, but we're using 22 over 7. So remember, you have to use a fraction. So for circumference, it would be 22 over 7 times 98 over 1 because it's pi times diameter. Right here we can simplify. And when you simplify, you'll get 22 times 14. And when you do 22 times 14, you're going to get 308 and it's centimeters. When we do the area for this problem, you're going to take 98 and you need to divide it by 2 because we need r squared. So 98 divided by 2 is going to be 49. So it'll be 49 squared times 22 over 7. Now, in class, let me just erase that because there's actually a little bit of a better way. I'd rather you just write it like this. We have to do 49 twice because we're squaring it, but if you do 49 over 1 times 49 over 1, let me just get an eraser, times 22 over 7, then you can, it's easier to simplify because we can simplify right there. And then when you multiply everything together, you're going to get 7,546, and that's centimeters squared. Okay, so these are fairly easy, so I'm just going to kind of skip ahead for each of these. Let me just try to get rid of all this. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the answers then. For number 2, it's the circumference for number 2 is 352 and centimeters, and the area for this one will be 9,856. That's a 6 centimeters squared. Okay, so the next 2 is we're going to find the distance around. So distance around is going to be circumference, but it's semicircle, so we're going to have to divide by 2. So this one's going to be 22 over 7 times 14 over 1, and then we're going to add 14 because if you remember, if you're like walking around, you're going this way, which is 14 feet, and then you need the arc. So what we're going to do is, and we need to divide this whole thing by 2. So what I like to do is this, is to take, it's going to be 22 over 7 times 14 over 1 times 1/2, and then you're going to add the 14. So now I can simplify very easily. So if I simplify, that'll be 2, this will be 1, so it's going to be 22 plus 14, which is 36 feet. Next one, it's 63. So again, you're going this way 63, then you have the arc. So it'll be 22 over 7 times 63 over 1 times 1/2. And then what you're going to do is add the 63 in later. So again, we can simplify right away. I get 9. I can simplify here. I get 11. So 11 times 9, which is 99, plus the 63. And when you do that, it'll be 162 inches. Okay, so the next part is finding the distance around, and it's a quadrant. And this time we're going to use 3.14. So the quadrant, now you got to remember, you're going this way, which is 5 meters plus the arc. So what we need is we need the circumference, so it's going to be 2 pi r. And remember, this is your radius, because if I would draw a circle all the way around, that's just the radius for the arc. Let me just delete that. Okay, so it's going to be 31.4 times, we're going to do 2 times 5, which is 10. So we're going to do that quickly because it's 2 pi r. And then you have to divide this, remember, by 4. And the reason why you're dividing by 4 because it's a quadrant, and then you're going to add 5 and 5, which is 10. So when you go ahead and do that and you solve, you are going to get 17.85 meters. For this one, again, it's going to be, you have 15, so it'll be 3.14 times 15 plus 15 is going to be 30, but we have to divide the whole thing by 4, and then you're going to add 30. So when you solve this, you're going to get 53.55, and then it's feet. So 53 and 55 hundredths. Okay. So let's do number 7 down here. And number 7 says the diameter of a disc, flying disc, is 10 inches. Find the circumference and area. So for this, it's very similar to everything that we've done before. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you the answers. So the circumference is going to be 31.4 inches, and then the area is going to be 78.5 inches squared. So just check your work for those. Okay, so let's do number 8. Number 8's a little tricky, but I think you can do it. So they give us the area of a compact disc, and then we want to figure out what the diameter is. So we need to remember that the area equals pi r squared. So they give us the area, which is 452 and 4/7. Now, I'm going to change this, though, and I'm going to change it. Let me just rewrite that. Area equals pi r squared. And I'm going to change that, and I'm going to change it into a mixed number. The mixed number, or improper fraction, is 3,168 over 7. And that's going to equal pi, which is 22 over 7 times r squared. So now I need to get rid of the 22 over 7. To get rid of it, we do the inverse operation, which means to divide by 22 over 7, which really is the same thing as times it by 7 over 22, which is the reciprocal. So when I do that, it helps me because I could simplify right away, and then I could go ahead and take 3168 divided by 22 on my calculator, and I get 144 will equal r squared. But we're not quite done yet. Let me just move this up. So r squared, so we need a square root of 144, which you should know is 12, is the radius. However, we're still not done yet because we need the diameter, and so all I need to do is double the radius. So 24 is the diameter, and it's going to be 24 centimeters is the diameter. Okay, so number 9. Let me just start deleting some of this. Okay, number 9 is, it says the circumference, let me see here. The circumference of a circular table is 816.4. Find the radius. So the radius for the formula is going to be circumference equals 2 pi r. Sorry, it's a little sloppy. So we take 816.4, which is our circumference, equals 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times r, which is the radius. So we're going to solve for the radius. So I can multiply that. So it's 816.4 equals 6.28 r. You should know that all we need to do is divide by 6.28, divide by 6.28. And when you do that, you're going to get the radius equals 130, and it's centimeters. Okay, next page. So this one I'm not going to go over because this is in, if you want, it's in lesson 11.3. This was homework from the other day. So this is, again, this is in my video lesson 11.3. And the answer, though, just in case you need it, is 200. Sorry, I wrote 22. Let me just delete that. It's 200 revolutions. Next one. This one was also in our homework from 11.3. I'll give you the answer, though, if you want to go back and you could look at the answer or how to do it in 11.3 video, but it's 100.48 feet. Okay. All right. Okay, boys and girls, for this problem, what you need to do is, if you remember in class I told you this kind of goes up to here. So we need to figure out the area of the shaded figure, and we're going to use 3.14. So if you look at it carefully, you'll see that this little semicircle here if you take it and flip it, it would actually fit right into there. So what we really have is one giant then semicircle. So let me just erase this. So we have area equals 3.14, which is pi, times r squared. So the radius of this is going to be 10. So it's 10 squared. And then we're going to divide it by 2. And the reason why we're dividing by 2 is, again, when we put that in there, that semicircle, you're going to have one giant semicircle. So area will equal then 3.14 times 100. And then we're going to divide the whole thing by 2. So right over here I could simplify. So it'll be 50 times 3.14. And when you guys multiply 50 times 3.14, you're going to get 157 and in centimeters squared. Last problem, it's not really drawn that well. So I'm going to show you what it should kind of look like. This should really go up to here, and this should go up to here, kind of like this. So basically what we have here is there's 3 semicircles. Okay, and they're identical semicircles, so it's not drawn the greatest. Just try to visualize it. It was hard for me to draw this. All right, so it's 3 identical semicircles. So, and we have 2 smaller semicircles right here. This one and then this one. Okay, so what we need to do is find the distance around. So we're going to try to find the circumference. So to do this, I need to go around here, around this other semicircle. So there's one semicircle right here. Then there's another semicircle here, and then another semicircle here. But there's also a little semicircle and a little semicircle. So what you're going to do is figure out 3 semicircles, the big ones, and then add that to the small ones. So to do that, it looks like this. So I'm going to take 3 semicircles, and I'm going to times it by the diameter. Well, the diameter for the one is 40. For each one, it's going to be 40. Let me just erase a little of this. And then, well, I just erased what I needed. I'm just going to erase some of that to clear it out, though. All right. So again, this goes like this. Okay. So this semicircle, the diameter is 40, and each of these big semicircles is 40. So it's going to be 3 times diameter is 40 times 3.14. But you need to divide it by 2 then. The reason why I'm dividing by 2 is because they're semicircles. So you can do several things. One thing is that I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify right here. And now I could just multiply 3 times 20, which is 60, and then times it by 3.14. So I'm going to get 188.4 inches is going to be my 3 big semicircles. Then if you look at the little circles here, semicircles, this is the diameter. So if you look, though, I'm going to draw some lines down here. This is 40, and then this area plus this area is going to equal 40 also. So this one, so if this plus this is 40, this has to be 20. So this is 20. And this is 20. So if you look, it's 20 plus 40 plus 20. That's going to equal 80. So these are 20. So I'm going to I have basically one full circle. You have this part and this part. It's one full circle. So I'm just going to do 20 times 3.14. Now I do not have to divide by 2 because I'm counting as one circle then. When you do that, you're going to get 62.8. And what you need to do then is you're going to go ahead and add that then. And when you add that up, you're going to get 251.2 inches around. I know the drawing's not the greatest, but just try your best on that one. And